Hello everybody and welcome to those of you here in person and joining us online. It's so wonderful to have the mixture, this hybrid mixture, which will see us going forward post-COVID. But it is post-COVID, we're here without our masks, and what a wonderful celebration, the 21st of April, to celebrate Lux Innovation's Circular by Design Challenge Award 2022. And the 21st of April, it's no random date, this day of celebration. It's also World Creativity and Innovation Day, as designated by the United Nations, to raise awareness of the role that creativity and innovation plays in all aspects of human life, community, and development. Now, this year, Circular by Design Challenge Award competition was open right across Europe. The independent and international jury, headed by Prof Martin Charter, selected the best projects, which then entered a 12-week coaching program with experts and a steering committee. The 5 categories are sustainable cities, fashion design, industry 4.0 mobility, Luxembourg, let's make it happen, and a youth category. But to start, please welcome Minister Franz Fayot to formally open this event. Minister of the Economy and Minister for Development Cooperation and Humanitarian Affairs of Luxembourg.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I would also like to welcome you all to this second edition of the Circular by Design Awards ceremony. The first one took place in October 2020 in the midst of the pandemic, and it is indeed a pleasure to do this in a much more normal way without looking at masked faces. Most of you know how important circular economy is to me personally, but much more importantly also how important it is if we want to build a more sustainable economy, which is at the very center of my political agenda. On regular intervals, the IPCC, but also many other experts remind us how real and how urgent the climate crisis is, but also the biodiversity crisis, against the backdrop of which all the other crises which we are living through are happening. The pandemic, but also now the very sad and senseless war in Ukraine, with all its terrible human suffering and, yes, senselessness, make us even more acutely and keenly aware of the scarcity of resources, scarcity of energy, but also of many primary materials and semi-finished products. All this fuels the inflation that we see right now. And all of this has to do with scarcity of resources. And that's where circular economy comes in. One of the way outs of this crisis, of course, to go into the direction of more sobriety. We need to find ways to produce with less waste, with less energy resources. But the other, and in the same vein, is to go into the direction of circularity. You all know that we have a strategy for the circular economy which has been adopted by the government of Luxembourg 2 years ago. And this award, what we are celebrating here today, is very much a very central piece of that strategy. Let me highlight very, very briefly, before handing over to our keynote speaker, some of the changes and novelties of this second edition. I think it's fair to say that the first pilot edition in 2020 was indeed a success. It proved that the concept was appreciated. Participating creatives developed impressive ideas. I am donning one of them today. It's the circular sneakers of Philipp Westerlund. Impressive ideas, and 5 partnerships were awarded with the program's industrial partners. For this second edition, which was launched in 2021, further steps were taken with a widened scope and increased ambitions. The call for projects this time around was open to creatives from all over Europe, and 14 projects were selected to participate in the challenge with financial rewards granted by the Ministry of Economy. Out of these 14 projects, 4 startups will be rewarded tonight, and 1 project submitted by a student. I will not go into the detail of the different awards and the rewards, which have also been slightly modified. I think this will happen during the course of the ceremony, but just to say that the intention was to build an even larger pool of ideas that our partner companies could draw on, and I think it is fair to say that this has indeed succeeded. We have now more ideas even which will benefit the Luxembourg economy and hopefully also over time the broader European ecosystem. I would just like to say that the overall outcome of the call has been overwhelming. We have seen 68 projects submitted overall from 19 different countries, a big success indeed. The second edition focused in particular on fashion and sustainable cities, categories which were already very, very successful in the first edition, plus 1 new category, which is Industry 4.0 and mobility. We have also been able, in one of these sessions, to draw on our product circularity data sheet initiative, which has been showcased for this purpose, and which has also been, for the first time, I think, combined with the fashion category, which there also is a novelty. A big change in this second edition is that we have moved away from the traditional craftsmanship, which was the central feature of the first edition, to more extensive use of new technologies such as blockchain, nanotechnology, and digital fashion for this second edition. So a second edition much more centered on ICT, on digitization. This demonstrates the interest of the creative industries in new technologies and tools, and also their capacity to use them to develop new innovative solutions. An experiment for this second edition, and Lisa alluded to this, is a specific youth category targeting high school and university students, which was included and which was also given a tailor-made coaching program. We also have another new category, which is called Luxembourg, Let's Make It Happen, and which has been launched in conjunction with the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs in the context of our nation branding effort. Here the idea is to develop new products which can also be showcased on the international level with a purpose to promoting Luxembourg. As a conclusion, I would like to thank all the people that have made this event possible and have organized this competition. First of all and foremost, Lux Innovation, Sasha, Bailey, Mark Liss and their team, big thank to you, but also all the 20 private and public partners, all the companies that accepted to participate, but also the institutional partners, the nation branding team, Chamber of Commerce, Chamber of Crafts, FEDIL, and many others. A big thank you also to you. And then, of course, also all the participants that took part in the challenge, tonight's winners, but also those that didn't win and who still have great ideas will not be awarded tonight, but who participated in the 12 weeks coaching and attended the 6 workshops, as well as the 3 steering committee meetings. I would like to all of you, even if you did not win, tell you that you should carry on, follow through with your ideas, and I'm sure that they will eventually be successful. Finally, I would like to congratulate already now all the 14 projects who were selected to participate in the 12 weeks coaching program. You have a great potential to contribute to a sustainable circular future for all of us. Thank you all again to all the participants, and I'm now very much looking forward to Karsten Bleymehl's keynote speech and to inspiring presentations thereafter. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister Fayot, and I think you are perhaps the most noted representation of Philip Westerlund's walking advertisement, literally walking advertisement. I also think it was very clever of Philip, who I can see just a couple of rows behind you, to have white sneakers, because they really do set the tone against a suit. So very clever there, and of course, he did win last year. So lovely to see you here again. Now, as already mentioned by Minister Fayot, we have our keynote speaker, and of course, Minister Fayot also mentioned the importance of materials in the circular economy. It's my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Karsten Bleymehl. He is an international material designer who has connected companies and suppliers with innovative materials and technologies since 2005. His degrees were in industrial mechanics and product design, and from 2005 to 2013, Karsten helped to build the German office of the renowned New York consultancy Materials Library Connection. He then went on to found his own company, MRC, Materials Research and Consulting, and 2 years ago, he co-founded the Circular Materials GmbH. Here, recycled resources are considered with new potential to become mainstream economic players in parallel to their sustainable aspect of the work. So please welcome to the stage Karsten for his talk entitled Decoupling Economic Growth from Resource Use.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much. Thank you, Lisa, for the introduction. And thank you, Lux Innovation, for having me and for the opportunity to give a keynote speech on your award ceremony for the Circular by Design Challenge. I think it's great to meet and make some room for ideas and for concepts that were leading us into a circular future. And when Mark was asking me to talk about my personal circular design challenges, I was very happy to reflect and also to share with you today some of my work I have done as a material scout and circular design enthusiast. The first project is from the days when I was a student. I did a collapsible armchair that was entirely made out of recycled paper. The idea was that you're using a minimum of material, also a recycled material, that you are delivering those flat packed onto the event, and when the event is over, you can pack it again and can store it for the next event, so a reuse can be done. I also did some lamps following this concept, very big ones. And the idea was also at the end of life that we are not losing the resources. All those furnitures as well as the lamps can go into an established way of recycling. So you see that I was already from the beginning very driven by materials. In this case, I studied the honeycomb course. I wanted to know who's producing them, what different materials can you make them out of, what is the difference of them. I also wanted to have them to play around with it. But I was also interested always in production technology. So which machinery is producing those nice looking honeycomb cores? So you can say that I was driven by fascination and curiosity, and I still am. And I always wanted to try things out. So I'm a big fan of making experiments with materials. First is to understand what you're working with. The second is to try your imagination out with those materials. And that was leading me more and more into product development, product design, with a clear focus on materials. My first job I had with Material Connection, the world's biggest material libraries for innovative and sustainable materials. And I had the pleasure to be in this, as the New York Times wrote, petting zoo of materials. And that was like paradise to me. So now I could work as a material consultant to build a team that was giving consulting services to very well-known brands. And I also learned a lot from them. So that was the time when I first met professional R&D departments. And they have been full of expertise. They were also, and that was impressing me most, ready to share their ideas. They really lived in open innovation. They thought about interdisciplinary approaches, and they used creativity to go beyond the borders of their own sector bubble that everybody is in, including myself. In 2013, after 9 years, I was opening my own company, MRC, doing exactly the same, but don't having this nice library and very big offices. But basically, it was the same, helping clients finding the right materials and implementing those into a serial production. But the more the people ask me, Karsten, what is the most sustainable material that can solve our problems, the planetary boundaries that we are reaching nowadays? I must say to them, there is no sustainable material on this planet. There are only sustainable products where you use the materials wisely. But if you use, for example, a tree, a wood, and you are not using it correctly, then also a plain wood is not sustainable in your design. And I was shocked that our world is only 8.6% circular at the moment. So I decided to open another company that is clearly dedicated, as the name already says, circular materials, to recycled resources. Because I think we have to change our mindset when we are producing something to work with something that was already there on this planet and not always consuming and growing something new, and it doesn't matter if it comes from a biological source or it comes from a fossil source. So we should more keep an eye on keeping the loops closed. So with circular materials, we are doing strategy for clients, also sourcing of materials. That's still the work I'm doing also with MRC. We are developing materials for clients, but, and that's new, we also want to produce materials that they are really getting physical in this world. And this we are doing in industrial scale. As well, we want to produce products out of it, as we saw that there is still some misunderstanding of how can I process materials that have been recycled. And today I'm happy to share 3 projects we did with circular materials. The first project was a challenge that a producer of hangers for fashion was asking us, could we produce a hanger that is made entirely out of recycled resources? And we looked into it, except the metal part. We could find everything that was made that had already a life before. So, and then he said, and could it be also possible that we are using the waste the fashion industry is producing? In Germany alone, that's the country I come from and where I live, 150 trucks a day we are collecting of unwanted clothes. That is just the output of our fashion industry. So what cannot be reused gets recycled out and the fibers are getting opened. And we use that fraction and developed a process, and I would like to share with you in a video what that looks like. Oops. So what we did was basically we turned unwanted clothes into something that works within every injection molding machine. And it gives new strength to the polymer part. So you could use way less material when you are incorporating those fiber pellets, as we told them. And everybody can use it that is having a mold for injection molding. But we didn't stop there. We also wanted to try out working with other materials, waste materials, with natural materials, with biopolymers, with others. And for us, it was very important to really check if we are on the right track, if we can really save some resources. That was for sure. We will save all the resources. But what is the effect of it? So we run a LCA, and we could clearly see that when you're using recycled content in your products, that your CO2 carbon footprint can go down up to 90%. And I think that is a lot when you see how much of those hangers are getting produced in this industry. And we didn't stop there. So we said, if we are recycling something, what can we recycle? Is there something with an extra purpose or needs and is raising an extra awareness? And that was when we also started to make hangers out of 100% old fishing gear together with a partner. The next project is a project we did for a cosmetic brand called Ghoul. Together with the partner, Trash to Treasure, they challenged us and told us there are 100,000 of those bottles. The brand is not allowed to use them anymore, but they are sitting in stock. So what can we do? We would like to have a nice box for a shampoo that is now not liquid anymore, that was in the bottles before, but that is a solid shampoo. And this should stay for a very long time, so it's not a single-use packaging. And instead of giving those bottles to a recycler who makes granules out of it, and then we buy the granules back, we said, maybe we can save this one step of putting energy into these bottles. So let's try to make out of the bottle directly those packagings. And as the supply chain was not ready to do that, we just did it on ourselves. And we did this little video to share it with you. So we have been very happy to see at the end 60,000 of these little giveaways in the drogerie stores in Germany, and could really make it happen that we reused a resource that was already on this planet in form of an obsolete bottle. The last project I want to share with you is really a hard project. When I first met Andrew Almack, the founder and CEO, in India, where he went as a Canadian to really help the people on the spot, I was very impressed. The name Plastics for Change was already quite big and changing life through recycling. I thought, okay, what is this guy doing? And while I'm talking with you, I would just run some pictures in the back that you see some visuals from India. We often think that recycling is easy because we have all the waste management that's needed to cycle our resources, but still we are not doing enough, in my opinion. There are countries, especially the global south, where 80% of the waste management is just done by the informal sector. And Andrew had the idea to help those people to just transfer the idea of fair trade that we normally know from coffee plants and coffee farmers, to put it with the waste pickers. Because the waste pickers, they are living on the streets with their families, and they are living from day to day collecting waste in India. That's the normal way how that works. And we know that a lot of plastics is entering the ocean, so he built 6 segregation centers along the necklace belt of India. And he was taking care last year to about 5,600 individuals and helping them paying fair wages. So they are not in the arms of those volatile markets where often when they did their daily work, they get 10 cents or 20 cents, and the next day they get only 5 cents because there is a lot of corruption also in this. But he said, we are searching brands who want to use those plastics to make fibers out of it or to make new bottles out of it. And they should care about the material where it comes from. And that was something that I was really impressed by. And since then, I'm helping Plastics for Change to find also new clients in Europe, because in India it is forbidden to make a bottle-to-bottle recycling. A lot of people ask me, why are you not leaving the bottles in India? It's forbidden by law to make a bottle-to-a-bottle still in India. This will change. But since this can be done in Europe, we are importing waste from India to Europe. A lot of people are asking us, isn't that crazy from a transport point of view, but it's really not. It takes more per ton from the harbor to the middle of Germany or within India with the old trucks than on the vessel to carry those bales, flakes and granules to Europe. Here you see an overview of this first fair trade verified supply chain in the world. There is no recycler who is working like this. And there is the foundation who takes place of the waste collectors, opening bank accounts for them, checking their bank accounts, what they get paid, having the segregation center, and then the full supply chain completely custom-made, and an engagement from the brands to help those people for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, giving them security. Let's wrap it up a little bit. My resume is that we are living on a planet with limited resources, so we have to transform linear into circular material flows. And the key aspects for circular development is that we reuse what we already have. That means we should start sharing, repairing, refurbishing, and remanufacture more before we buy the new one. We should decrease virgin material use, because virgin always means I'm taking it from this planet, and this planet is really already quite empty at the middle of the year. Increase recycled material use, design for recycling. You should produce products that are really getting recycled at the end of their life and not writing on it, it's recyclable, a claim that I totally don't like. And you should reduce the overall product carbon footprint, checking it with standards that are there. And that's the most important, we should all start with radical collaboration. Radical collaboration means that also competitors are finding together and solve those problems that occur. Radical collaboration means that you work with other industries, interdisciplinary, and I'm a strong believer on such a way to do so. So that's why we need also awards like this one, where creative ideas can grow into innovation, where frontrunners can meet and decisions can be made in alignment of society, the industry, and government. So let's celebrate and collaborate in closing the loops all together and now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Karsten. I think everybody will agree, watching online and in the audience here present, that was a really thought-provoking talk, and I don't mean to underuse that phrase, thought-provoking. It really was. So come here, front and center stage, although you'll need a microphone, because we have now the floor open to the audience for questions and also online questions. I've got one which has come in from online. It's jumping into something you didn't speak about, and the question is, what are your thoughts on the synbiospace, where genome sequencing can be used to regenerate synthetic materials like leather or wood?
The
synthetic biospace.
I think that's very important. I think an ideal world would be where we only have those products, so we reinvent everything again. And then we still have to cycle those products. I think it's a wrong thing that we are saying it is made from natural resources and it's biodegradable and we are losing it again. We should still keep those material in the loops as long as we can have it, because they are very valuable. So I'm pro all of those things that is going on, but on the other side, I'm living in the here and now, and I'm also try to find solution for things that are already there. So it is very important indeed. I agree.
Any questions from the floor? While you're thinking of your questions, I will throw in a question. When it comes to how you evaluate what products to use and where they're coming from, you rely on an awful lot. I mean, I'm sure most of us here present try to recycle things. They have to be collected well and distributed well, and we have to trust that the collections go to the right places. But actually, some news stories have shown that is not the case. And then you also have the considerations of transportation, which you pointed out, and each material, as you will know better than most people, is not equal in value from producing it from the ground, etc. So how do you make the calculations on every single point in this journey?
I cannot do those calculations, but there is an ISO standard, and within those life cycle analysis, you crunch the numbers. For example, an analysis can easily reach 30 to 50,000 euros, so that shows already how much information you need before you can really say, is material A or product A with the material A better than the product B with the material B. So it's really not easy, I wouldn't say that, and I cannot do this for myself. I need collaborators in this.
Absolutely. We have a question here from the Minister, in fact.
Yes, well, thank you for the speech, which was really inspiring. I just have one. I was particularly interested by your the last point on the fair plastic initiative. As a Minister of Development Cooperation, I see that this is a problem also in many of our partner countries in Africa, not only in India. So I was wondering, is this something that is right now focused on India, or is there a plan to also scale it and to expand it to other developing countries. And I would be very interested to continue the discussion as to how maybe we can participate in this as Luxembourg.
Great. Yes, Andrew Almack, who was founding it, he really moved to India, and he said he first wants to be, there is so much waste in India at the moment, and when you establish something and you know a little bit the country, so there are other brands who are saying they are doing the same, but they are not fair trade certified, but they are all over the spots. So yes, he wants to go to other countries, but he also said he first wanna not finish, because the waste is never finished there. Hopefully at one day they are, at the moment, as I heard, are implementing also European standards there in India. And hopefully they will get, and we know that there are the first sites where they get the European standards and recycle their own waste. But still, there is the last mile that I heard for a country, for a low-income country, but India's, it is up to 20 to 25% of the turnover of a country that you have to put into waste management. So that is not easy to swallow, but I hope that at a certain point it is obsolete, and then maybe going to another country. I can ask him, but I know that it's on his agenda, but first India. But with the rest, I would be happy to follow up. Thank you very much.
We have a question here. The lady with the green top, the microphone is coming around to you. Whilst the microphone is running around to you, I'll throw in another question. I'm not going to make it too hard. This is a nice one. What's your favorite material to work with, given that you're a material scientist? You must have a favorite.
I'm always sweating when somebody is asking this, because it's obvious that I
was
should
an
have
easy
one. At the moment, we are working actually on packagings that are water soluble. So I'm more fascinated by the whole systems than a material. There are so-called wow materials, and normally everybody says it's a leather out of mushroom, or it's. But this is not so interesting for me, because when you once had a workshop with chemists, they can really make a material out of everything. I mean, they make a material out of, you need just carbon if you take it from an ananas or from whatever you want. I must say, so I like this project at the moment the most, because it's so game-changing that packagings can be recycled, are bio-based, are biodegradable, and also water-soluble. So that opens a total new dimension. And I think in 2-3 years we will see some nice packaging innovation on that front.
You mean biodegradable packaging needs carbon from the chemists?
Basically everything that we are working on at the moment. When I'm a lot working with plastics, so maybe that explains a little bit. So we are living in a plastic world, and 90% of the development work that reaches me, at least, is related to plastics.
Mm-hmm. And if you could just also introduce your name.
Sure. Hi, I'm Katja Vladimirova. I'm from the University of Geneva, and I'm also one of the participants in the fashion competition. So naturally, I will tend to ask you about textiles and recycling, which is a difficult, tricky question. But I was wondering, considering your really mind-blowing expertise in this area, how do you see the potential of recycling fabrics, and especially the challenges of mixed fabrics recycling? And a lot of talk now about how recycled polyester being actually more dangerous in terms of chemicals. I just wanted to ask your opinion on how do you see the future of recycling textile waste?
I mean, there is a lot of solutions already up and running. As we speak, I think there are 5 or 6 companies who solved the problem on a technical stage. The question is, who puts the radical collaboration together and the money into the head? And we see those things in real life. As we speak, France just invested 1 billion in a new recycling plant just for unsorted plastics. So the science is there. There is no doubt. And The question is, when can we scaling it up, and which approach are we taking to the next level? So friends of mine, also from India, they have a brand called Pure Waste. They are producing fabrics, yarns, they do everything on their own, made from 100% waste, from cutting waste, and they are producing t-shirts and everything right normal. I don't understand why we don't see this much more still. And yeah, we have to do big steps, and I'm happy that also the European Union and the policymakers are getting into action now. I think in a few years we will see a lot of new approaches, also products that can substitute panels that are made out of worn-out cloths. There is a lot of things there, but it has to raise to make the big impact. That is my opinion. Thanks.
And we have another question here. The gentleman with the grey top on the opposite side to where you are right now.
Hello. I'm not sure if you're the right person to ask this, but maybe. So in order for this circular design not to become some kind of greenwashing strategy, what are the policies that the policymakers can implement to actually make this a thing that has a real impact?
I think a lot of discussion and proposals are out there. The last I can remember is the UK, who just said that there is a fee, especially when we talk plastic again. I'm sorry. There is 30% of the plastic goes into packagings, and so that has a big impact. And the UK said, if you are importing a product with a packaging that has less than 30% recycled content in it, you have to pay £200 per ton fee. That's the plastic fee. So this is really about to come also here, especially in the industrialized societies, because we are part of the problem. We had all the we were, yeah. I'm missing the words. We grow with this, so the whole CO2 is now in the atmosphere, so we have to also take care of it, and we should do more and bolder steps, I think, than others. And that would be something where you can regulate it, where you really promote the use of recycled contents, and that makes investment safe, and that's what we need.
Any further questions from the audience? Yes, the lady directly next to you. And if you could introduce yourself as well.
Hello, my name is Lucy Matthias. I'm also one of the participants, and I'm a product designer. And what I was always questioning myself when I was studying is, what am I actually doing? I'm putting more stuff in the world. So this whole philosophical level, like we are living in Europe in this very consumerism world, and I'm definitely part of it, but how can we as product designers and also concept developers work on that part? Because I think that's also something we tend to forget when we go into technology and materials and brands, and I mean, I'm part of this, but how can we really kind of push this also a bit more?
Yeah, I hope there has been one or two things in my presentation that you might keep in mind when talking to those. But I know it's always hard to say to your client, yeah, basically we have to, all we need is less. That's a thing that I like a lot, because that's true. But we have to decouple economic growth from resource use. That is something I think in the circular business models, there is still a lot to do, even when the idea is totally not new. I mean, hotels, cars, the Postkutsche, that was all circular economy, right? That was not owning something. So there is plenty of work, I would say, for clever and smart designers, saving resources and keeping them into the cycles, because there is a lot of stuff to do. And yeah, my resume, as I showed, reducing it and using more recycled content and making products that are really getting recycled at the end of the day.
Karsten, I know that many people here would have lots of further questions for you, and I have 2 pages of them, but unfortunately time doesn't allow it. But I'm sure that afterwards you'll be approachable to answer any questions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once more. Thank you. And now I'm delighted to welcome onto the stage people who have been involved with the project right from the beginning. Mark Lies, who is, of course, the cluster manager for the creative industries. And joining him on stage, please welcome Anja Hutker and Anne Hommen, who were also working with Anna Todeschini, who is not here, sadly, an intern for 6 months during this time. I had trouble myself with all of the A's. We've got Anja, Anne, and Anna. So, Mark, I'd like to hand over to you, first of all, to talk a little bit about this project and the origins of it and how it's been going.
Thank you very much, Lisa. I will keep it very brief, because the idea is that the team is introduced, because this project was only happening or only possible because of the team. The project itself, I think the minister talked about it already, about the structure. The idea came from Christian Tock, who you'll see on the stage afterwards, sort of handing over the prizes. So it was the idea of creating something, getting an idea if Luxembourg was ready for circular economy, if we had ideas, and using creativity at a cross-sectorial level with circularity. So that was great, and then we worked a structure out, a process, a competition, a challenge, together with Anja for the first edition. And then for the second one, we used those lessons that we learned and made it bigger on the European scale. And it was always important in this project to shoulder the participants with this 12-week coaching program. So that, I mean, it's already been said by the minister at the beginning in his speech, saying that everybody's a winner that takes part in this competition. And I think the coaching already is a prize that they've won, which sends them in a direction to make their idea more feasible, economically viable, and also circular. Those are the three sort of pillars that we always have in this project. But I've already said too much. I will pass over to Anja and to Anne, and maybe you want to interact with them and ask them questions so they can explain their role, their very important role on the project, because it wouldn't have happened without them, and many others, but I think they deserve the limelight here on stage to talk about the project.
I can see how naturally they want to be on stage. Ladies, I think you need to step out of the shadows. This is your one moment of glory. You have really been, to use Mark's word, the pillar behind this project and working so hard throughout. So, Anja, I want to start with you first of all. Tell us firstly what your role was in the project. Let's start there.
My role was to be the project manager of this project, and I have worked with Mark from the beginning. And
I'm going to move you a little bit forward into the light. You couldn't be further back. Anne, please join us.
So my role was to bring some structure into the project and make sure that everything works well. So Mark was responsible for the content, and I made sure that the meetings were right with the right people and well organized, the documents, the contracts, all that.
All of the background invisible work.
And it's quite a lot.
It's an awful lot.
It's a lot of people involved, and you have to get them together at the right time.
And it was international this time, so you have projects coming in, well, not international, I should say European-wide. You have all of these projects coming in for the various categories. So when they come in, what do you do?
The challenge is really that we don't know what we're going to get. So we prepare everything, we prepare the coaches, we prepare the jury, the experts, but we have no idea who's going to participate. So then the challenge is to look at the projects, assign them to the right categories, and assign the right jury and experts to each category.
Mm-hmm. And so just thinking about the projects that came in, were there any that really popped at you and you thought, wow, I'm going to think about this in a different way? Or what were the highlights?
The highlights of the projects?
Yes, the projects, the entries.
I think for me, there is not one project as a highlight, but they're very, very different and have a very different level of maturity. And that makes it very interesting and also challenging to compare them, because if you have projects in one category and one is really a bright idea but very new, and then you have a company who has been working for 10 years, how to compare them. So this was one of the biggest challenges we had.
But thankfully,
the jury.
You had a jury who were designed in knowing how to do that comparison. Again, move forward. I can see that you're so used to working in the background and the light not being on you. This is your moment in the spotlight, ladies. And I want to ask you, Anne, firstly, again, just tell us about your work in the project, the organizational part, what you did.
Yeah. So I joined the team in September, so then they were full in preparation of the launch event in October. So that was a very intense moment to join, very interesting. And afterwards was really how Anja explained that we had to put it into shape, so the framework, the scope was there, but then with the concrete projects we have to put it into practice. And then it was really the discussions in the team back and forth, how can we really make it a fit and make it a solution, and finding ways, for example, for our pitching sessions in January, how do we do that? So the whole collaboration with the COM to find a platform to organize that. And so yeah, it was mostly the internal coordination and really finding the best solutions to all the challenges.
I think it's absolutely lovely that Mark is giving you this moment on stage. It really was his idea to force you on stage, because, do you know, often the organizational part of these events it's rather, do you feel it sometimes, it feels a little invisible what you do, or do you feel what you do really has significance?
Well, I would say if it is invisible, that's the good thing, because then we can really put the focus on the challenge, on the participants, what is our main goal. So I think if it is invisible, that's really because it's done so smoothly, and I think that's really mainly the props of Anja, because it was done smoothly and in the background, so that we can focus on the projects that are really the focus of this challenge.
That's so diplomatically put. It did make me think also that, unfortunately, you probably only ever get contacted when something's gone wrong. So going smoothly and invisible is probably the highest sign of success. What's your favorite category? Or are you allowed to say such a thing?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't think I can pick one. I think I can learn what Anja said before, that there were so many different projects, but what I found really interesting, that I imagined projects being so different in every category, and that is the case, but still, since we are talking about circular economy, the same topics are coming back. We are talking about take-back schemes, because we really have to think about the end of life of the product, and that was really that I found so interesting, that even the categories and the projects were so different, there are still the similarities.
Well, thank you so much for both of your work. Mark, I think you need to have the final word here. You need to come back with part of your team.
I just wanted to, I'm really glad they're here on stage with me, and unfortunately Anna was our intern. She finished her internship in end of March, so she's gone back to Italy. But that's kind of like, for people that see the slide or on the screen in the background, and people online that follow it, the A-team, because obviously you have Anja, Ann, and Anna. So that's kind of like what we coined internally, that's the A-team. But I also like to thank everybody else at LUXEXPO, because there was a big team behind it that helped specifically for this edition. So we couldn't have done it without all of them. So thank you.
Thank you all. Of course, these things don't happen without people like you. Thank you. Well, now I have a very energetic lady to welcome to the stage. She is the head coach, Katarina Rymarchikova. I hope I've done justice to that surname. And we had a chat online, and actually I had to think about what I was going to wear today, because she's a fashion expert. And just to give a little bit of an introduction to you and your incredible background, Katarina is a fashion industry and educational consultant in sustainability, innovation, circular design, and responsible business. She's also a fashion designer, lecturer, founder and director of Align London. You graduated from Central St. Martin's in London and worked with luxury fashion houses such as Alexander McQueen and Gucci before setting up your eponymous label in Paris. And alongside this, when you were in Paris, you worked as a professor of draping in Parsons, Paris, which is a school of art and design. Then you went on to coordinate their fashion department. And now you work at UAL, the University of the Arts in London, since 2013, as subject leader in fashion arts at the London College of Fashion. And you instigated cross-disciplinary projects between fashion, science, and technology, and later created and led their first cross-school MA collaborative unit, combining industry partners and MA students from all postgraduate courses. And that's her CV with me cutting out half. It's really rather impressive indeed. It's wonderful to have you here.
I like to be busy.
I can tell. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Lux Innovation in Luxembourg. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you just radiate this energy that you have for all of these topics. And when we had a preliminary chat, it's almost hard to know where to begin, because you really cover everything. And I suppose what stands out for me is the interdisciplinary nature of the way in which you creatively think. So maybe tell us about that a little.
Well, as a designer, as a designer, I think that's the key is to be curious and to question things. It's shocking that it's not always the case. And we kind of went into this fashion education where we just produce designers and we sort of stop thinking and questioning things. So it's in my nature to question things and go beyond the next step. And I think this is exactly what is needed more than ever in terms of creating the change, and especially in terms of circularity, to not just to reinvent new material, or invent new material, or create the recycling material, but what happens next? You know, how do we actually create the full loop? And really think about the kind of long-term impact and the changes we have to do. So yeah, all of this excites me, interests me, and that's why I'm happy to always be part of these incredible initiatives to think with the projects and concepts, how can we improve the ideas, how can this be something impactful, no matter what scale at some point, and how can this make a difference and inspire others as well.
And so when you got the projects that came your way and you saw them, what was it that stood out for you? What are you looking for when you look at projects, or when you are looking at the people involved in these projects? How do you try to coach them to change their mindset, to ask the right questions?
Ooh, interesting. Every project is different, and exactly what's been said already, that we have such a broad variety of projects and different stages, and that goes within the fashion category. And I think that's actually very interesting, because it's not just making a new product, but it's about creating certain changes, so long-term systems in terms of, again, recycling and thinking about what happens to the product at the end of the life cycle. Also, the importance of the first steps, repair and reuse, which hasn't been really attractive, or, you know, it's not something that we associate with, you know, new models and new products in fashion.
It's not something we can all do. I can't
Absolutely, and this has to be encouraged. But it's really about the people, really, and establishing connections, you know, building and conversation and trust, and sort of helping them to create tools to support themselves and their projects long term, you know, because when you come up with new ideas and new concepts, they are always questioned, they're not always welcomed, or, you know, when you're kind of creating some changes and bringing some alternatives, they are not always understood or supported, or it's not the right time, or, you know, the initiative is not always ready to be awarded or to be launched, and that's okay. So it's really about thinking, what do we do and why, and have these answers, so to go long term, to actually have a meaning behind that. So I think that's really important during the coaching, to answer the questions for ourselves, to justify what we do makes sense, even though it's not, you know, with a straightaway impact or a product on the table, but really about understanding the principles of circularity and thinking about, you know, more positive impacts through our work.
You mentioned something very interesting there, was timing and getting something to launch at the right time. Looking back on your vast career in fashion, what have you seen in the past that didn't quite capture the imagination at that time, which is now working today?
Well, when I started, there was no such word as sustainability or circularity used in sort of descriptions of fashion, and it wasn't a, you know, marketing tool. But it's something that I've worked with from day one, really. I always question where materials come from, what happens to them. I never wasted anything, I reused everything, etc. So I think it's finally, the attitude is changing, the industry is changing in terms of thinking about, you know, putting it in practice, what we keep saying here, that we need to make less and buy less. And what does that really mean when you're trying to create new fashion products, or products in general, right? So kind of questioning the scale of things, the growth of business. And I think the key is to really support small and local as well, not just the big scales. Yeah, we have to do a change on a big scale, of course, but also there are initiatives that should be small or can be small and can make an impact. You know, they shouldn't be global and be produced everywhere. You know, so it's really about questioning what it is that we're making here. How can we create that change and the loop within the system, and how we operate and what it is in terms of product and material.
Is there a final thought you'd like to leave us with? I know, again, just like Karsten, we could talk to you for hours and I could open up the floor, but time doesn't permit it because we're going to move on to the awards next.
Exactly.
But give us a final thought.
I just think it's important to talk about circularity, of course. It's amazing to be here and to be part of these initiatives and accelerators to making it a more mainstream conversation and really putting into practice. And, you know, as Karsten was saying, that, you know, it's really about radical collaboration. So it's about sometimes uncomfortable conversations, about clashing and disagreeing as well. But it's about finding ways forward. And it's not always easy because we're trying to make massive change from one system to a completely different one. So it's important to be here and talk about it. So let's see those amazing projects and the winners.
Thank you so much for being the head coach. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now perhaps the most exciting part of the awards ceremony for all of the contestants and the people who've been part of this 12-week coaching program as well. So first of all, I'd like to welcome onto the stage Christian Chalk from the Ministry of Economy and also Menachem Tanapour, MD of Generator Luxembourg. And I'll invite you to tell us a little bit more about the prizes, starting with you, in fact, Christian.
Yes, so, well, the prizes, I'm very happy to be here today to see how this grows. And so that's also why this year, actually, I'm very proud that the Minister approved our request to be also a sponsor of this event, and so we can actually give a certain amount of prize money to the winners, which is maybe not important, but it's also a nice incentive to have that, and also be the sponsor of what Generator has to offer to the companies, which I think is maybe the better price, because it's really helping the companies, the products, to grow and get to the next step. And so we're very happy to also have found a Generator as a partner in this.
Thank you. And I'd love to hear from you as well, what you do and what you're going to offer for all of the winners.
Yeah. Thank you. So I just landed in Luxembourg to open our Generator's office here, so I'd like to thank everybody who welcomed me, and I'm meeting some people for the first time, so it's really exciting.
Welcome to Luxembourg.
Thank you.
When you say you just landed, how long ago?
In March.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, it's really exciting to be here. This is particularly exciting for me because I ran a startup for 10 years in the circular economy space, so I'm really excited to work with these companies. And we're really excited and honored that Ministry supported us to be doing this with the winners of this competition. And what we're going to be offering is a 4-week crash course and an accelerator to support each and tailor it for each winner, so that they can grow their company, their startup, their idea into something, and bring that forward into the market. So that's the summary of what we're going to do.
Thank you so much, and very happy to have you here with Generator in Luxembourg.
Thank you.
Welcome again. So Christian, I know, just to recap, it's 7,000 euros, no small amount, from the Ministry of Economy, a 4-week accelerator program with Generator, and on top of that, the winners will get a 6-month co-working space at either Silver Square, Palladium, or the Luxembourg City Incubator, and potentially a partnership with a project partner. So really fantastic prizes and wonderful, wonderful incentives for all of them. So without further ado, let's move on to the first category. And I know you're going to be here giving prizes as well, if you want to just stand to the side while I just, first of all, introduce in alphabetical order the nominees. We have Circular Nano Insulating Water Sports Textile, Repair Rebels, Youthentic, and Well-Rounded. So let's take a look firstly at the video for Circular Nano Insulating Water Sports Textile.
Hi, I'm Jo Godden. I'm from Ruby Moon, and 10 years ago I started a company called Ruby Moon. which has circular economy at its core. In fact, we have a circle of impact which generates both social and environmental impact through our gym to swim clothing. The development we're doing is going to be fibre to fibre textile development using waste materials, waste swimwear, to make a new functional textile which will allow you to spend 2 to 10 times longer in the water. There's a real need for this because nobody likes wetsuits. And we want to make sure that people are spending more time in the water for more exercise and more mental health benefits, because there's an increasing movement to get in the water for longer, and the effects are truly astounding when people make that connection with nature. The Circular by Design challenge has been perfect for us because it's focusing on circular ideas, which are an integral part of what we are trying to achieve. Personally, my passion is the circular economy and circular textiles, so it's been a wonderful way for me to get my ideas out of my head onto paper and simplify the idea for everyone to understand how important it is for fibre to fibre recycling.
And as I was watching that video, I was... Oh, we're going to... If we could just pause the video for one moment. Sorry about that. I was just going to say that not all of you will know this wonderful photographer standing in the background there, Sophie, who might be using some of those sports fashion wear, because she is an Iron Woman, in fact, a phenomenal sports lady, just standing back, our photographer for the day, giving us all a wave. Sorry to pause the video, so do carry on.
Hi, my name is Monica. I'm the founder and CEO of Repairables, platform for shoe and textile repairs and alterations. I am originally from Lithuania, but been living in Germany for over 10 years. I love fashion. I worked in the fashion industry since I was 15. However, I soon came to realize that clothing that we wear today do not align with our values. Sustainability in fashion is becoming a big topic. However, we often forget that consumerism is still the elephant in the room. And this is where the idea for Repairables came from. So, in cooperation with local craftsmen, seamstresses and cobblers, we are launching a platform where technology meets traditional crafts. We aim to make repairing as easy and as fun as buying new, just more social and more local. We are offering for end consumers an ecosystem of services. We do marketing for repair shops, we offer online payment, door-to-door delivery, and provide complete transparency throughout the entire value chain. In 5 years, our goal is that Repairables will be the leading platform for all things fashion repairs. We hope to contribute to a cultural as well as behavioral change, where people feel proud and not ashamed to wear their repaired clothing. Repairs are the next right thing in fashion. It's good for your wallet, it's good for the environment, and for the local economy.
I'm Lillian, co-founder of Authentic. Together we're a team of 3 with more than 40 years combined working experience in the fashion industry. So we experienced the issue of waste firsthand. And that's mainly due to the fact that the fashion industry today is mostly linear, and that amounts to high waste, which starts in the development process and ends in overconsumption and overproduction. And at Authentic, we're aiming to solve these problems through the combination of technology and craftsmanship. We are a gender-neutral fashion brand led by circular fashion principles and are supported through the adaptation of digital tools. We design for circularity using biodegradable and innovative materials and design for longevity with zero waste production. To close the loop, we offer a take-back strategy, which includes repair, resell, and recycling. And we adopted a digital workflow, so using 3D technology to develop our collections, meaning that we reduce physical sampling for the first drop by 80%. Furthermore, we based our business model on demand, so meaning we only produce what we sell, eliminating the problem of overproduction. I've always loved beautiful clothing, beautiful garments, but also taking care of them and looking after them and extending their life as much as possible. And that's also part of what we're trying to achieve here. And we want to rewrite the rules and change the way that we consume and educate the world.
I'm Katja, I'm from Geneva, and I'm a founder of Well-Rounded. Well-Rounded is a circular startup to make sustainable, ethical underwear for the whole family. We create garments for children, men and women in Europe, and we also recycle them through a take-back scheme at the end of life. This way taking responsibility for the resources we use and for the waste that the textile industry generates. The idea of Well-Rounded came to me as a millennial mom who was struggling to find nice alternatives to buy ethically, sustainably made underwear for myself, for my son, for my husband, because women take care of the whole family these days, and before as well. So I couldn't find a one-stop shop where I could get all of these, and I decided to create one to make it comfortable for contemporary women, many of whom work, many of whom are busy. Instead of doing 3 researches on ethical, sustainable underwear for different members of the family, just go to one place and find everything there. Circularity to me is a way of taking responsibility for the resources we use individually as consumers and as a society. And I think the biggest challenge for me with this startup is to make sure that we take responsibility for the garments after the end of life, and either they can be reused back into the production flow as materials to make new garments, or biodegradable, recycling, putting them back to earth.
There are the videos of our 4 nominees, and I would love to invite once more Minister Fayot onto the stage to actually open the envelope to see who the winner is. Thank you so much for your time, because we know you're rushing off to another meeting directly after this. There we go.
Yes, I'm sorry, I would have loved to stay, but I need to go to FEDIL, which is the industrial federation, so to old industry, trying to convince them to go more circular. So, way to go. So the winner of this first award is Well-Rounded.
Alongside the €7,000 and the 4-week accelerator program with Generator, this prize includes a 6-month office space at Silver Square and partnership prizes from ANCA Project, ASBL and PGA, Poly Global Advisory. So I would like to invite Men Ji to the stage to tell us a little bit more about what PGA is And Minister Fayot, if you need to dash off at any point to talk to Fadil about the circular economy, we do understand. You're a very busy man. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time here. Thank you.
Hello. So Polyglobal Advisory is actually a brand development agency. So we have an office here in Luxembourg, more on the administrative side. And then we have a pretty large team in Milan, and an office in Beverly Hills, and another office in Beijing. So we've been working since the last decade with small, medium, large designer labels around the world. And we are involved in their everyday development of the brand. So we are very honored to be here today, and I'm very happy with the result of the winner. We will be offering a one-year representation of the brand and take care of the we will be glad to try to really bring this into the core of the fashion industry in terms of communication and PR.
Well, okay. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Minjin. Thank you. Thank you for your time with us as well, and your representation here in Luxembourg as a global company. Well, now we need to hear a few words from the winner. Tell us more.
Thank you so much. First, totally unexpected. Like, really, I came here to meet people and to have great drinks afterwards. So this is like amazing. And I came to Circular by Design Challenge with a very nicely figured out idea. I had most of it covered from the theoretical perspective, but I completely had nothing covered from the practical perspective. And I came a little bit as a child walking into the world of business, coming from academic perspective, where I am pretty established in my own, little circle. And then I really needed help with practical side of things. And this is what Katarina helped me out with so much. And also the positive empowerment that I've been getting, a lot of very practical, tailored support to my particular project really pulled me out from the level of having just a general, really cool idea to having some sort of viable business now. And I'm really looking forward to launching, hopefully in September. But I think I will need to speak with Mang now about this. And I'm really looking forward to looking through to make this brand happen and work.
Congratulations once more, Katja. With prize and check in hand, the most important two aspects. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm really enjoying the colors on the stage that I have. It's not always like this at events. I love this fashion aspect. Thank you so much for bringing color to us. The next category is Mobility Industry 4.0. Moving on, that's a lovely photo over there. Moving on to this next section, we have the nominees for this category, which are, again, in alphabetical order, Green Earth Trading and Green Pixels. So once more, let's take a look at the videos.
I'm Anand. Along with my partner, Rushank, we have established Green Earth Trading. Green Earth Trading is a technology-driven commodities trading platform which uses blockchain to provide traceability and transparency to the entire supply chain. When it comes to supply chain management, the farmers who are on the first mile journey are often ignored or left out. So what we do is we make sure that in the entire circularity of the raw material, the first mile data is included and provided in a very transparent way using our technology. Being a social entrepreneur, my partner went and settled in Ghana. Being with the farmers, he has actually put in a place in the village where 70% of the population directly or indirectly work for his factory. He has established a medical center, sponsors a local football club, we have a computer center, and this is where our inspiration comes from, saying if we can do that in a village, our next stop, what we are working on currently, is to expand it to the district, and this model we will be happy to implement wherever we can in the world. When we entered the Circular by Design Challenge, we had good ideas, we knew what we were doing. But through coaching and the different sessions and the LUXEXPO meetings, what we have learned is that our idea is good, but how do we communicate? How do we bring our product to the market? And through the coaching sessions with the Circular by Design Challenge, the team has really helped us to kind of put this message to the world.
My name is Harri Edelman. I'm the founder of Green Pixel. My background is in architecture. I have a PhD in integrated urban developments. Our mission is basically greening the cities in a sustainable way using affordable green roofs. Green Pixel's solution is based on modular green roof elements using circular waste as a material. It's designed for deassembling, allowing the removal of the elements and a second life cycle of the product and recycling the materials. We're using geopolymer as the main material of the elements, and it basically provides several advantages beyond the circularity, such as providing nutrition and moisture for the plants and having the capacity of purify the runoff water. And additionally, the material is also highly fire resistant. Circularity is kind of built into my profession as an architect, so having these functional solutions, not only beautiful and aesthetic solutions, but also functional, both in terms of nature, financial sustainability, and durability, those have always been like key issues to me in all of my design practices.
I'm just handing to Christian to release the winner's name.
There's only two.
There's one or the other will have won.
Okay, 50% chance. So. And the winner is Green Pixel. There he is.
So as you can see, we're joined online by Harri Edelman. Congratulations, Harri.
Thank you so much. This is absolutely great news. Thanks.
You're being awarded right now
Here's your prize.
Your prize, along with, as we have from Marlies here, the 7,000. I think you can see it that with the camera.
Yes, thanks for holding it up.
We see him now. It's like a little bit of a trick of technology here. Yes, and along with this, you will also get 7,000. You'll get the 4-week accelerator program with Generator. You're also going to have partnerships with Lycée des Arts et Métiers and Office Freilinger. And you're going to have your 6 months with Luxembourg City Incubator. So I would like to invite onto the stage also Bastien Berg from the Luxembourg City Incubator, Benoît Forton from Lycée des Arts et Métiers, and Olivier Ledeberg from Office Freilinger. And to all of these people, first of all, Harri, I would like you to tell us about your experience, just while they're setting themselves up with microphones. Tell us about your experience of the 12-week coaching program and what you gained from it.
My pleasure. Well, thanks for the great honor, first of all. Well, basically, we started with a very solid idea or need for a wicked problem, and I might add the journey has been kind of winding in terms of kind of switching the actual solution, but in the end of the day, we actually, with the help of the coaches, found a pretty nice solution for the actual problem, and I must say that honestly, this must be one of the best kind of coaching programs that I've been involved with, and in particular, I have to thank Jan Parr for the excellent head coaching that I received from him. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Harri. Bastien, please tell us a little bit more about the Luxembourg City Incubator.
Yes, thank you very much for having me, and congrats for everyone to make this challenge happen, first of all. Congrats to you, Harri, and I'm very happy as well to welcome you in the next few weeks or months for these 6 months free space at the Luxembourg City Incubator, which is powered by the Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by the City of Luxembourg, and located at the House of Startups. So you will be part of a huge startup community, and we are trying to support you in the best possible way, obviously. All right, so congrats once again, and hope to see you very soon at the vibrant place at the House of Startups.
Thank you, Bastian.
Excellent. Sounds great.
And I would love to hear from you, Benoit, from Lycée des Arts et Métiers. You can come a little closer.
A little bit closer?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what this partnership will mean for Harry.
First of all, I wanted to congratulate Harry. What an amazing journey you went through, all this challenge. That was really amazing. You completely changed different things, different times, so we were very honored and humbled to see that and to witness that. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. So we will be very happy to partner with you in different, in different things, like having access to our fabrication lab if you want. We will also be able to maybe work together with students to work on some hackathons, for example. We like to do that kind of things with our students. Like for the moment, currently, this week, they're doing that with 6 different companies, which are providing their own issues, and we like to work together. Students are usually full of energy, full of creativity, without any limits, and this is the kind of things that we want to do in that kind of challenges, specifically with the circular economy. So once again, Ari, thank you very much, and see you soon.
And just one more line from you. I would just like you to tell people online or in the audience a little bit about, a couple of lines about the Lycée des Arts et Métiers.
So the Lycée des Arts et Métiers is one of the oldest lycées in Luxembourg, 125 years old, a few months ago. And we have secondary school, we have higher education with many different fields, specifically in the artist part, and also in the high-tech, like, for example, game development and IoT and all those kind of things.
Wonderful and very concise. Thank you so much. Olivia, over to you. Tell us a little bit about what the partnership entails with Harry.
So, so congrats once again. Office Freilinger is, let's say, we are the ugly guys. Lawyers, you know, the boring guys nobody wants to hear about. But let's say our main goal is always to protect creativity, protect innovation, because creativity and innovation without intellectual property and without intellectual property rights is nothing. It's creating no value, because without IP rights you have no possibility to defend yourself, defend a project, build a company, and let it grow. So we are here to support you, to find out what is protectable, to see the whole project, to see what we can do to protect, expand your protection at the best cost-price ratio, let's say, or cost-effectiveness ratio. And yes, it will be a nice challenge to see you and to bring you practical, operational options, and up to you to decide to go further.
Thank you so much, Olivier.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. No, we need you on stage, because despite the fact that Harry is online, watching us online, we still need a photo with our wonderful Iron Lady. So, gentlemen, if you could kindly just circle around Harry.
Thanks for holding up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, and congratulations once more, Harry. We do look forward to seeing what you will produce in the future.
Thank you.
On to the next category, Sustainable Cities category, and the nominees are On Perfect, Sorgi, and Vash. So let's look at their work.
My name is Estelle. I'm a team member of On Perfect, a cooperative here in Luxembourg with about 170 members and volunteers. We have tasked ourselves with awareness raising and giving information about the topics of food surplus and food waste. Out of this need, we have basically created an imperfect shop now, where we are selling all of these food products that can't be sold through your conventional sales channels, we were able to do so by a crowdfunding that we have successfully accomplished in the beginning of this year. To now further increase our impact, we are also launching ourselves into food production here with the Circular by Design Challenge. The Circular by Design Challenge was very interesting for us as a company, since this is the first time that we are actually working on product development. So just getting this framework and some guidelines on what parts of your concept to develop in what stage were really important for us. And you know, it's a challenge, so winning is nice and all, but I think we have gained so much experience and insight and valuable expertise throughout these last weeks and months that would have been very hard to get access to in any other way, basically. So yeah, just getting all of the expert knowledge and this framework and the guidelines to help you through this very extensive process of product development, that was a really big plus for us.
I'm Anna Horvat. I'm a Hungarian architect and narrative designer working in the field of exhibition design, installations, furniture design and public art. I'm participating in the Circular Design Challenge with my project Sorgi Lux, which is based on the solid foundation of Sorgi, a creative startup founded in Malta. Sorgi is a reaction to the extensive property development, which unfortunately resulted with the loss of many heritage buildings and also an increasing amount of construction waste that has been piled up on the island. Sorgi's 6-piece furniture collection, which is made of recycled construction waste, taking place in public spaces around the island, and where each bench is representing a building and keeping the memory of the building in shape, color and materiality, which is facing demolition right now. Throughout this 12-week coaching program, I have developed a site-specific version for Luxembourg for its public spaces, because I'm aware that the city also went through a similar scenario, which resulted in the development of this new financial districts such as Clos d'Or and Kirchberg. While on one hand, I believe that these areas are a great collection of contemporary architecture by renowned architects and studios, also on the other hand, I feel that they lack intervention, they lack greenery, they lack development of public space, which I believe I can help with my project Sorgi Lux. I'm really grateful for the coaches of Lux Innovation, because I believe with their guidance I managed to develop a business model which can be firstly implemented in Luxembourg, but then also can be interpreted in other cultural cities around the world.
My name is Sarah and I'm the co-founder of Wash, and we are an eco-friendly and local laundry detergent brand. And together with my partner Nicolas, we founded the company 1 year ago, so in March 2021. And today we've been selling 3 products, eco-friendly laundry detergents. Our products are actually produced in Luxembourg, so it was really important for us to have a product that is made locally. You have many advantages of our laundry detergents. So first of all, they are made of ingredients of natural origin. There is no controversial ingredients. They are biodegradable, and like I said, they are made in Luxembourg. Throughout the Circular by Design Challenge, we actually learned quite a lot of things. But what was really great for us was to be able to put down everything that we worked on for the past year, to take a step back and to find the areas for improvement. I love to travel and to be surrounded by nature, and that's where I feel well. So it was really important for me to work and act on projects that would help protect the environment. And that's why I got involved into Wash. And I'm really happy today because thanks to the product that we sold over the past year, we managed to contribute to having more than 4.5 million liters of water that is not polluted in Luxembourg. So it's really motivating.
And the winner is?
And the winner is Unperfect.
So please welcome to the stage Estelle Flamand and Julia Gregor. Congratulations, ladies. So of course we need the photo with the prizes in the center, and we need a few words from our winners as well. So let's take the photos first. I think you need to be in the middle, ladies. Wonderful. So alongside the 7,000 euros and a 4-week accelerator program with Generator, On Perfect will get their 6-month co-working space with Palladium.
Okay, so
I think we will be a lot busier these next few weeks and months than we have anticipated.
well, we were busy the last weeks, just to come back to this, to clarify. So, okay, my hands are shaking on my legs too, but we are trying to, to say anything.
So we really did
tell us a little bit about the project and what this prize will mean for you.
Okay, so I will try. Let's say comparing now our project to all the other projects, we must say our project is very much more down to earth, and I mean literally down to earth, because it started on the fields, and it started really in talks with farmers, and our product is not. Actually, our product is not even used once. I mean, it's just vegetables who grow and who are thrown away, even they don't ever come to the customers. So it's probably a bit different project, and I don't, I can't say
So I guess the difference
more.
between our project and the materials that the other projects had to deal with is that we have this inherent circularity with food, right? You consume it and basically that's it. It seems easy, but we have a value chain that's so complex and that doesn't appreciate the real value of our food. And I think we have established, even more so during the last week since we started the challenge, how important it is that we safeguard the value, the nutritional value of our food, especially now. So I think it's a really big step for us to have participated in this challenge to launch ourselves into food production so that we can really reach the scale that we need for our project, because we are not fast enough distributing all of the surplus food that we are faced with every day. So we hope that we can really make a massive impact now thanks to this challenge, really. So thank you to everybody who was coaching us, and our head coach Jude, and also a big thank to our A-team.
Yes, thank you to the A-team, and thank you to Jude for the patience, because
Exactly.
now you will see, as you gave us the mic, we will talk too much, and if we are nervous, we even talk more.
I was thinking it didn't take long for the confidence to come.
It was just the initial shock, but we're fine now. So thank you everybody. That's
Congratulations.
really surprising, but really good surprise.
That's wonderful. You can hand the mics to the gentleman just to your side. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you.
Take the money.
Oh yeah, don't forget the money. Congratulations once more, and of course to all of the nominees, because as they said, as both of them said, it's been wonderful to see the variety of projects, and that is of course what Anya said as well. There's such diversity in these projects coming in from the start. The next category, Luxembourg, let's make it happen. The nominees are Colors of Luxembourg, Multi-Purpose Balm, and RF Cocoon. So we'll take a look at their videos.
I'm Lucy Majerus. I'm a Luxembourgish product designer working across various materials and fields, from jewelry, wood, ceramics, textiles, to stage design, product concepts and workshops as well. My project is about reviving the local textile industry to develop a range of homeware designs. So, for example, cushions with reclaimed linen, silkscreen in a sheltered workshop, to tea towels and all different kinds of objects for the home made from textiles. I also use wool from local sheep that is woven in the local Doffabrik, an old museum but also production site. And it's all about finding a way to design timeless objects for the home and with high quality and as natural and circular as possible. What is so special about the project, that is a approach that I'm using now in this challenge for Luxembourg. I want to develop it further in European cities, for example Amsterdam or Paris, and using similar designs but with local materials and develop collections over the year in a slow way. Already as a product design student, I found it intriguing that I should put more products on the market, even though there is so much stuff around us. I believe since my childhood that I want to live and work as sustainable as possible, and for me that's possible in my work when I try to use as much reclaimed material and natural local materials in my products, and also try to do timeless designs, which is of course not easy, but it's my aim.
My name is Céline, I'm 35 years old. I like to say that my blood is Portuguese, my passport is French, but my heart is Luxembourgish. I'm a chemical engineer specialized in cosmetic formulation. I've been working in the cosmetic industry for more than 10 years. I am now running my own lab, Laboratoire C2L, here in Luxembourg, and I am about to launch my own cosmetic brand called Melucia, that offers a natural skincare routine with local ingredients. For this Circular by Design challenge, I came up with the idea of a multi-purpose balm that could be used on face, on body, on lips, and so on. It will be packed in an aluminium jar that can be easily recycled or refilled. In that case, the packagings will be collected after use, then cleaned in a shelter workshop before being refilled and put back on the market again. For the Luxembourg Let's Make It Happen category, the idea was to have a circular product as local as possible. For this, I am using Luxembourgish oils, such as hemp oil, camelina oil, poppy oil, that are known for their nourishing and soothing properties. And we are also developing 2 new local and upcycled oils. Apple seed oil, coming from the valorization of byproducts of the apple juice production, and grapeseed oil, upcycled from the byproducts of the Moselle wine production. For me, circularity and sustainability are not just a trend. They need to drive all our decisions in our daily lives. And we, as product designers, we have the big responsibility to make the best choices for our customers and for our planet.
My name is Timothy Tan, and I'm from Singapore. Together with my partner and I, Marion Delapode, we started an atelier of Other. It's an architectural practice with a material research pillar. Our project is titled Reviving Fiberglass Cocoon. And we basically take fiberglass waste and turn it into these exquisite like pieces. What started this project is really the amount of fiberglass waste that we see in the boating industry. That was the start. And gradually we realized that it's ubiquitous, you know. We have the windmills, we have the electrical boxes in the streets. We are basically surrounded by such material that has no effective way of recycling at the moment. Through Circular by Design Challenge, we managed to get many contacts and establish, many conversations with expertise in different fields. That in itself helped us to fill in many gaps within the project, and in that sense, Circular by Design Challenge made a great leap forward in our project.
And the winner is...
RF Cocoon.
So congratulations to Timothy Tan and Marion Delaporte. So again, whilst they're having their photo taken in the center of the stage, alongside their €7,000 prize and the 4-week accelerator program with Generator, RF Cocoon will get 6 months co-working space with Palladium and also a partnership with Lycée des Arts et Métiers. And we definitely want to hear from you.
Right. Thank you very much for this opportunity, for this challenge. And I think for us, we've sort of learned a lot. And what started out as more sort of conceptual and more experimental became like, you know, a proper way of running the business side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were like in the start really like at point zero in terms of a business. Like we had absolutely no idea, and so I think it was really helpful to just like be able to sit in front of your computer and have someone tell you what's actually going on. We really didn't know anything about it, and I think if you just leave us, we will kind of try to make beautiful products and be in the workshop, but not like really go towards the business side. And
I think that's really, this project is mainly driven by passion and this curiosity for this material. And aside that, we have our own atelier where we play around during our own time. And I think Circular by Design just sort of gave that extra push and gave us a platform, you know, to put our products out there for other people to also have this confidence in what we're doing.
They certainly do. Congratulations to you once more. Thank you. Thank you both so much and congratulations. Now we have a little surprise because there's another prize in the Luxembourg Let's Make It Happen category. And to introduce this, please welcome the project partner from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the stage, Catherine Passeret.
Thank you, Lisa. Dear Mrs. Bailey, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Allow me to start with expressing our utmost gratitude towards Lux Innovation and the Circular by Design team, Mark, Anya, the whole A team, for granting us the category in this year's edition of the challenge. Let me also express a big thank you to our jury, chaired by Professor Martin Charter, of course also our categories coach, Max Steffen, and of course all the candidates. I am very delighted to be with you all today for this award ceremony. The Nation Branding Initiative is part of the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs. Our mission is to inspire and connect all players and thus to promote Luxembourg abroad, with the objective to highlight the values and faces of Luxembourg. Amongst many initiatives, one of them is the Luxembourg Collection, a collection of gift products under the official Luxembourg label. Our ambition is to develop a sustainable and local collection of products, which is an ongoing and participatory process, where we are always looking for new local partners, their expertise and innovative ideas. With this in mind, last October, we called on the country's creatives and entrepreneurs to represent our country and the Luxembourg brand by designing and developing a product that would be circular, of course, local, and telling a story about Luxembourg, its history and values. Out of the 3 applications that made it through the coaching process, we chose the product that we considered best answered our call to fit into our collection. So today's winner will be awarded an allowance of €8,000 and benefit from the Luxembourg's collection distribution network, including a storytelling about the product itself as well as the producer, the developer. So without further ado, I'm very happy to call for the winner of for the Luxembourg collection, which is the multi-purpose bomb, introduced by Mrs. Céline Coelho. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Celine. And again, we need our photo. Center stage. Yes, of course, we need the representation. And yes, so alongside, whilst you're smiling from the camera, alongside the 8,000 euros from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you will also get, along with the storytelling and the whole Luxembourg network to hand from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 6 months co-working at Palladium.
Thank you very much. It's very unexpected, as I was not the winner of the category. Thank you so much for this challenge. Thank you to the national branding team and to the jury and to my coach, also Max, for all his advices during the 12 weeks coaching program. Thank you. I will be happy to highlight Luxembourg biodiversity with my product, and I have the chance to meet local farmers, wine producers, in order to develop this 2 upcycled oils, local oils. So thank you very much.
Congratulations to Celine, and thank you very much, Catherine, as well. Final category, it's the youth category. So we're going to take a look, I think we're going to take a look at the video, and then we will invite Mark onto the stage. So let's take a look at the video.
My name is Agaban Akbariye, and I'm a PhD student in the University of Luxembourg in the Department of Engineering. My project is called Pop-Up Pod. As the name suggests, it's a pod that you can easily assemble and disassemble. And this ease of assembly and disassembly make it mobile, so you can move it throughout the city and put it where you need it. And why it is circular? Because it helps us to create this circularity of uses and circularity of spaces and circularity of processes, because the materials that we are going to build this product from is recyclable and also reused materials. So this project is multifunctional because, for example, one functionality, the primary market is education pod, where we go to schools and we create this pod together with different age ranges of students, and they can build it, learn about circular economy through practice, and then use it in the schools. The other project is work pods, and we can have this pop-up pod throughout the city in the spaces that we have but we don't use, and people go there and work from there. And the last functionality could be a bus stop that accommodates temporary roadworks in Luxembourg, for example. And this was really the added value of the Circular by Design Challenge, because together with the help of mentors and the coaching program and the steering committee, I could have made this multifunctionality realized.
Well, I think clearly COVID had some creative potential in that idea there. Mark, please join us on stage.
Thank you, Lisa. So I'll let maybe Christian take out the name and announce the winner. I'm just coming to represent the partner who can't be here today.
Big suspense here. So the winner is Pop-Up Pod.
So congratulations to Arkavan for your wonderful idea. Yes, absolutely. We do need Mark. I think you should join her for the photo. Christian as well. Why not? Have a balance. And the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit more about your idea and what this means to you, what you got from the 12-week coaching.
So I think I will use my time first to say thank you to Mark for setting the cornerstone for Circular by Design Challenge. Then also to the A team. They sent a lot of follow-up emails to me and pushed me a lot. Also to the jury, the mentors, the steering committee, and last but not least, to Liz from Up Foundation, because she was my head coach, and without her help, this education pod, this program, and the multifunctionality was really not possible. And it was something that was the added value of this program for me, because I'm not a team, and I'm not a company. So Circular by Design Challenge and all the people that I just thanked, they really helped me to sculpt my idea to a marketable product, I would say. And one person that I would like to thank is my colleague from University of Luxembourg, Jovan, who helped me a lot with some parts related to structural design. And I also owe some parts to him. So thank you, Mark, and Lux Innovation and everyone. And I guess that's it.
Thank you. I'll just have one more thing to add. As the partner couldn't be here, we had the partner with Service National de la Jeunesse, SNJ, here in Luxembourg. We're very active in youth work, obviously. And so they partnered for this category because it's more their expertise than others. So we experimented with this. And so you will have, as it's now, the partner is on screen now, so I'll name them first, Palladium. So they have 6 months of office space as well. They can co-working space that you can use, so for free. And the SNJ, so Service National de la Jeunesse, as the winner, you will receive 750 euros from them. You will have access to their accelerator, which is called Base 1, and also access to their makerspace for free. So to develop your project further and with a bit of cash injection as well. So thank you to the partner, they are on screen, and congratulations from my side too.
We're nearly there. Thank you for staying with us here in person and online. And to close the awards ceremony, please welcome CEO of Lux Innovation, Sasha Bailey. She had a skiing accident. There seems to be something in the air around here. Mark was off with a knee operation, and I'm so sorry, I wish you didn't have to go up the stairs. Oh, oh dear.
Thank you everybody, and congratulations again to the winners. I'm really impressed with what you have achieved during this Circular by Design Challenge. And not only I'm impressed by the winners, but I'm so impressed by all of you. It's really truly fantastic. And what's now going to be fascinating is really to see how your circular products and services can truly materialize, turn into reality, and enter the market, as many of you have been pointing out. It's your work and commitment, and also the active participation of our industry partners, that are a real significant sign of this increasing awareness and importance that the concept of sustainability is really gaining everywhere, but especially now here in Luxembourg. And we are really witnessing genuine determination to cut loose from the conventional, as we've heard it, the take, make, waste way of doing things, towards finding ways of creating economic value in a circular manner. And what we also see is that the creative industries are very much the driving force behind this. Transversal thinking, as we've also heard today, across disciplines, sectors, and areas of expertise is really key to a sustainable transition. So in order to stimulate our participants to think holistically, this edition has included workshops on topics such as design thinking, circular economy business models, customer experience, the product circularity datasheet, intellectual property, as well as marketing and brand positioning. What we wanted to do is really raise awareness to other dimensions that can positively impact the way a product and service is designed and turned into reality. So now, turning these projects into reality is absolutely key. The challenge we have organized, our Circularity by Design Challenge, is not an end in itself. We do this to stimulate ideas, foster interaction, bring people together, raise awareness and inspire. But beyond this, we are there to continue to accompany these emerging projects on their path in turning them into viable products and services that really create economic value and that can also sustain themselves from the value that they create. So this is where our experts at Lux Innovation are there to support you with your innovative business models, to help you identify also the national and European funding opportunities, to structure your applications, and in a manner that will also increase their chances of success. And we are also there to connect you with others out there with whom you can join forces and scale up. I think the word you used, Karsten, was on collaboration, this really challenging collaboration that we have to achieve, and that's something that is absolutely, absolutely key. And let me underline in this context that it's not our teams at Lux Innovation that carry out this mission of supporting the companies with their innovative ideas on their own. We can't do it on our own. We rely on the support of our partners, be they public or private, be they within the country or beyond our borders. Those who share their experience, their expertise, and also their networks. That's absolutely key. So in order to reach out to the creatives beyond Luxembourg, we have worked with several creative industry clusters in the greater region and in other European countries. And they shared the information about this challenge with their members, and they encouraged them to apply. And we are very, very grateful for this collaboration. Thank you. And we have also been supported by the incredibly talented and engaging coaches who accompanied the participants in this challenge. Max Steffen, Jude Cherry, Oliver Kaiser, Liz Kremer, Katarina Rimarchikova, and Jan Walter Pach. You have all done an amazing job over the past 12 weeks. Thank you, Katarina, also for sharing your coaching experience today with us. And I'd also like to send out a special thanks to Jan from Norway, who is here remotely today. Jan has been a coach already twice now, and he has helped us tremendously in shaping the second edition, and by contributing with the lessons learned also from the first edition, so thank you. And I'd like to thank the 33 jury members and the jury chair, Professor Martin Charter, who helped us with designing the challenge in itself from the very outset, and whose expertise and feedback have absolutely been a constant driving force behind this event. And last but not least, all our partners who helped us define the project requirements for the different categories so that they were really tailored according to their specific needs. And this is important because this is what also ensures that the ideas put forward have a real chance of becoming viable products and services in a competitive, very varied, but also demanding market. So thank you also for offering the winning projects extremely rewarding partnership deals that will help them on their path to success. And just listening to the reaction of many of you and the partnership deals you have, I could really tell that it is really something that is appreciated. So thank you to the partners. There's a well-known African proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child." And this child, the Circularity by Design Challenge, was definitely raised by a village. It's a village of people who believe in the concept of circular economy, who know they can each contribute in their own manner, and who know also full well that it's only by joining forces that something really significant can be achieved. So thank you for joining us on this journey, and let us all continue to work together so that we can turn this village, our village, into a real model of how to turn ideas of circular economy into reality. And please do join us for the next edition that, as you can imagine, we have already started to plan next year. Our A team and Mark are on it. Thank you very much.
Well, now, the 21st of April is not just World Creativity and Innovation Day. You'd think somebody would have planned this drinks outside. It's also Sasha's birthday, so please join with me in singing a round of happy birthday. I think she deserves it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sasha. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Mark, thank you. I had already thanked you very much for organising this fantastic party for me today. So it was meant to be our secret. Thank you very much, and thank you, Lisa, for the fantastic moderation. I'm always impressed in how you do this and how you manage to bring up all these questions and interact so intelligently. It's wonderful. Well
I have
done.
the easy job. I get to meet wonderful people. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you.
Mark, I think your arm will be needed as the stairs. All of these injuries. I definitely don't want to see any more stair injuries. Well, we are going to move our way to the drinks reception now, but I must say thank you all for joining us online and for all of the collaboration as well within these events over the last few months, in fact, because it's been going on for a few months. In conclusion, 6 project partnerships have resulted from this year's challenge, and a further partnership is going to be confirmed over the next few weeks. So thank you to all of the entrants, the creative minds who worked their way through the course, to the winners, to all who entered, the organizational team, the A team as they are now known, forevermore, the experts on hand, and everybody who has generously donated their working spaces and, of course, the cash prizes. Thank you for joining us online, in person, and those lucky enough to be here can now find their way to a drink or two. And for those who have won, and for all of those who were in the process, you just have to remain a little bit longer to have photos taken and for certificates from graduating from the program. And my final message, apart from thank you very much, is that you're going to get free tickets for parking if you've parked outside. Which is always very useful. So thank you all for listening and enjoy the rest of the evening.